Okay.
Hey everyone, I am so excited to be here today. I'm Kate Steinbacher with the Coaches Console, and today I am announcing to you one of the top 11 winners of our Bootcamp Extravaganza graduation contest. The contest was part of our 10-week bootcamp program, which happened this past fall, and we had 250 people in the bootcamp, and Marilla was one of our top 11, and it has been an amazing journey. She has worked very hard to be here. Her name is Marilla Arguelles. How am I doing? Arguelles?
Right. Got it.
Thank you. Sorry, it's a little difficult sometimes. And Marilla, tell us a little bit about why is it that you decided to even join this boot camp? Never mind, win it.
I needed a lot of help because I don't have a technical background, and I've been working around education and rehabilitation for 39 years, but I don't even have a cell phone. So I learned to drive when I was 35. I've not done things through technology, and I wanted a way that I could have the support that you guys give when it comes to marketing and maintaining. So hopefully I'll be able to hire a virtual assistant, but until that time, I need all the help I can get on organizing and keeping things straight. Because I did start with some of a website, but this has allowed me to do things that I wasn't able to do or didn't know how to do yet, like a newsletter and a blog and, the auto responders. Those are great.
Super. Tell me this. Talk about your niche. Who is it you serve, Marilla?
I'm looking for public high school social studies teachers who are anxious and concerned about finding an effective and decent way to address the current economic, political, and ethical problems of the day that everybody's talking about but nobody wants to raise with teens. And that's what teens want to be involved with.
So the teens that they are teaching want to be involved in these amazing projects and processes, and it's the teachers that you want to reach so that you can teach them how to get teens involved. Is that the result?
Right. I ran my project on itinerant media education in 4 different public high schools, and I saw it work over and over by using film, because the kids that were teaching had very low achievements. They were not classified as anything special. They certainly weren't gifted, and they weren't special education, but they didn't have, they weren't up to snuff on reading. And a lot of people I know don't read. I think more and more people don't read. And so I realized that there's a way to jump over that hurdle by using film. And so even though our project is about taking a new take on what's going on in the world, it's also new take films, because film is a great way to stimulate kids, get them involved, get them talking. It's way above what their reading levels would allow them to do or even have access to. And they love it. They love making, they're not exactly making film, they're making PowerPoint presentations, because that's in all the computers. That's totally accessible. And then once they pass that hurdle, they can go on to put that into a YouTube or think about further ways to make it a more sophisticated platform. But that's great, and it's fun. And we use PowerPoint, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you work with these teachers who are looking to do something better for these students and support them in teaching the kids how to work through this process. Is that correct?
It's not so much the process. They know how to teach PowerPoint. That's not it. It's how to handle important questions.
Excellent. Excellent.
How to have a dialogue that respects and honors everybody who's participating and deals with some fundamental questions of the era.
Beautiful. Beautifully done. So tell me, boot camp that you got involved in, it was 10 weeks. It was 4 clinic calls. There were Monday calls. There were, you each had a coach. What parts and pieces were most valuable for you to become one of the top 11?
The thing that helped me the most was being able to replay the calls, because they were too much for me to absorb it at once. I would listen to them and I would say, whoa, I needed a lot of help and repeats. And although even that wasn't enough, I really had to have those ITs. And I'm sure I'm notorious I think they all know me because I manage to ask complicated questions because I don't really know what a program is traditionally supposed to do. So I'll ask it to do what I want it to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were there, and that made a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. So the support team was there for you. I'm glad to hear that. Great.
Support team. I couldn't have done it without them.
Great.
Especially Stephanie and Jackie and Marilla. They were really lifesavers.
Great. They're a good bunch. So, for a lot of people, they buy different products like this. They have rack them up, but they end up on the shelf. What did you do to make sure that you got value out of this program?
I noticed that because I've taken other programs and I'm interested in other programs. And I think that's something we really have to pay attention to. For instance, I regard what I'm doing and trying to get the kids to do, over and over, you guys would say, marketing is just another form of coaching. I see marketing as another form of preparing teachers for getting messages across. And they don't know anything about advertising and marketing. And those skills are being studied nowadays and understood in a way that we didn't have access to before. Mm-hmm. So I think that's very important to really start understanding what marketing is and how to present things so they are digestible and how people can make intelligent decisions. We don't want to do bad marketing for somebody and buying something that they're never going to use or it's wrong for them. But intelligent marketing is very, very important. And I think this program offers that. And I think it's a very high quality program because of that. But there was, you had a second part to your question. What was it?
I was saying that what allowed you, what did you do? What did you put in place that allowed you to stay with the program and keep going and not just go off and do something different?
Well, I needed it. I needed to be able to present things to people because I'm talking to people all the time. And sometimes I'm talking to people who are in academia, and I needed something that was sophisticated enough that I could jump over that hurdle of not having the credential because it's really something that intimidates me. And
Sure.
Even though I try to be brave about it, it's still, I'm in new territory. And ironically, one of the things that helped me finish the course was joining the contest, which I never intended to do. I thought that was, I'll never get to that. But then I thought, that might be a way to push myself.
Nice. Yeah.
And the coaches were all helpful on that. And I have to thank you for offering that because even though, it may not be something it's a big deal to me. And I'm glad I did it because now I have not only this film we're making together, but I also have a great website and I can show it to people already, even though I don't have all the details in, I've got enough there.
Great. So one of the big whys for you was you needed this process to help you feel professional so that you can get out there and talk about this amazing project that you're working on. Beautiful. Excellent. So what results have you realized from being in boot camp? Has anything changed? What do you have in place now that you didn't have before? Did you get clients? Where are you at now?
Right now, I'm sending out my newsletter, which is not really a newsletter. I guess it's a blog. I don't really know the difference. I know it's in my course and I can go back and read it, but I don't really care what it is as long as I can get what I'm saying across to people. And I like that, but it's nice to have the backup of the very strategically designed elements that once they read the newsletter, they can say, who is this person? In case I send it to somebody who doesn't know me that well, they can, once they read that, hopefully they'll go back to the website and then see all the other things that are there. Because I'm doing it in a way that's, I don't think, traditional for Coaches Console. I'm doing more of teasers, where if they do something, then they get this, and they do something, they get that, because that's what I understand is missing for a lot of people. They don't have positive rewards in their life.
Nice.
And education is like that. Education is terrible because it does it by intimidation and threats. And if you don't do this, people talk about going to college as if it were going to heaven. You got to go to college. What are you going to do? What are you going to be able to do? And can you start doing it now?
Nice.
What you want to do in college or major, is there a way for you to connect? Find out about it. Not only that, but find out about it and bring it back in a way through the PowerPoints or film to your community group or your church or your friends.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good way to spread it.
Nice. Nice. Excellent. So what was the most fun you had in boot camp? Was there something fun or a special aha that you had in boot camp?
Well, I just finding out how those setups work, where we have our free gift and then that leads to that. I mean, I like doing that, where one dovetails into the next with a particular incident.
So how everything fits together and you were able to learn that process. Nice. Good
So many elements. I mean, I think people can use it in many ways, but I want to access a lot of them.
Good. What was the most difficult part of the boot camp for you?
The technical parts.
Okay. So the actual taking the learning and then actualizing that into the website and the opt-in forms and the free gifts and making it all work together.
Well, even deciphering the videos were hard for me, and I had to get the coaches to help me. And sometimes they would say, "I don't think you can do that," but then they would work at it. Or they, a couple of days later, I go, "Well, actually, you can do this," because I was asking non-traditional questions of them.
Okay.
Like how to import a music soundtrack into a PowerPoint presentation and post it on my free gift. Those had things I don't think a lot of people are doing.
Cool.
They worked with me on that, and they were supportive, and so I can. It's really nice. I can do that.
Nice, beautiful. I'm glad to hear that. What would you say your confidence level was before you went through boot camp, and how is it different now? Around what?
Well, for approaching education, see, the teachers are not going to be able to afford that program. What I have to do is convince academic departments. So my confidence level, I would have said, was 3.5 or 4. If you told me I had to go out and talk to somebody, I would have been really nervous. Now I would say it's probably an 8.
Nice.
I have to be very selective about making sure I get my ideal. And that's the program is very helpful on that, stressing that you don't want to sell to every academic department. You don't need to sell to every education department. You want to look for a department that has the same values that you do, and then you market to them. And also I can have something to show them before I have my final course package, because I don't really want to have my final course package until I have enough feedback to make sure all the things that I'm struggling to put in, because I have a very rich content for them. And so I want to have some, teasers and projects and write-ins and surveys and all like that. And
Great.
So I'd say it's probably a good day. It's a 9.
That's great. Congratulations. So having a lot of the bits and pieces of your business together so that you can actually share information with people has really helped you feel better about getting yourself out there and knowing that you can reach the right people in the right ways. Super. So what are your next steps? What kind of marketing techniques do you believe you're going to use? How are you going to move forward to build your business?
I think that I'm going, instead of doing an email just to any possible person, I think I'm going to start using the calls and asking. It's kind of like a merger between a joint venture and that's actually, just help me realize that's actually what I'm asking our academic departments to do. It's a joint venture with me on presenting my course, and then they would be funding it. So I think that's what I'll be stressing right now.
Great.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah, absolutely. How you're going to get out there and talk to people and build your business.
Well, I can call them up and I can remind them how I met them or how I know them, and then I'll ask them if I can send them my newsletter, and then I'll send that, and then if they like that, then I'll refer them to my site, or maybe they'll be intrigued enough already by reading the newsletter to go back and look at the site, and then hopefully they'll call me back.
Absolutely. And then you can reach out to them as well. Absolutely. Good. What's your ultimate hope for this program that you've created?
I want it to outlive me. I'm 74 and I've done a lot of things in my life, and I've never had a way to guaranteeing that it would continue. So I had to do a lot of volunteer work to make, work without a salary for many, many, many years. And I feel that this is a way that I can help support my family, buy my son an accessible van, things like that. But I can also connect teachers in various areas that don't have a way of knowing people with similar views or attitudes or hopes. And so that's what I'm hoping, that there'll be other people who will step into this and take it on and maintain it and keep it going, and maybe it'll blossom into something entirely wonderful.
Absolutely. It's already blossoming. So what kind of a coaching challenge would you offer to a newer coach who is stepping into boot camp to get to rock star status? What would you say to them? Well, how would you challenge them?
It has to be one of your priorities.
Mm.
And if you're like me, you need to go back and listen 2 or 3 times to the presentations, and then that would be the main thing I would tell them, is to be patient with themselves. Because they'll get it in the end, and if they don't get it all, to make an outline of what they would like to get out of it. And if they're getting stuck, to reach out to the group, reach out to the coach. I didn't even know we had coaches. I didn't understand. That was my mistake. I didn't realize there was a difference between coach and IT, so I thought that was what we got. And then I found out about Margarita only in the last month, and she was so wonderful and lavish, enthusiasm, and it made a big difference.
Nice. So what Marilla is talking about is that within the boot camp, you have access to a coach, you have access to our IT support team, and as well as the actual program that we're teaching, Melinda and myself. And so all together is the whole boot camp package. Well, Marilla, you have obviously done a great job with it. We're so excited that you've made it into the top 11. I wanted you to speak a little bit about who that ideal teacher is that should come and visit you. And I want to also give out your website so that we make sure that anyone that's listening that might be interested in getting your free gift can sign up. So it's newtakefilms.org, newtakefilms.org. And all one word, and it's Marilla Arguelles. So Marilla, tell us a little bit about who's that teacher that should see you. What are their pains, and what are the things they would really love to see happen with their students?
A teacher who's hanging on and feeling very, very frustrated and anxious about even the job, just the funding of the school. Maybe she's across the line by addressing difficult topics in her class, and some parent or some administrator walked in and there was a discussion, and this kind of plan thing, and they go, well, we don't really go stick to the textbook, because we don't stick to the textbook in my course. But I think it's very important to help people who really do want kids to be involved now and to feel important now, rather than intimidated or anxious about their studies, to understand that things shouldn't really be classified according to subjects. We should have interdisciplinary service learning, so they get recognition now for the difference they're making in their communities. It shouldn't be this over here, this building, and that over there, and then that subject. That's the wrong way to do it. Mm-hmm. And if you go to the very high-class schools, like there's a school in Vermont, $55,000 a year for,
wow,
for the boarders. Mm-hmm. And they're raising food and driving tractors and running around and shadowing professionals. They're not staying in a classroom. Mm-hmm. So it's really tricky to do this by yourself. But if you can point to programs like there's a filmmaker named Bob Kleiner who had some wonderful things, and they even put him on, I think, on Nova, where he's doing the service learning, and it's proven it's worked, and all that's in my newsletter. And I would hope that they would have access to a computer and can go back and look and see who's doing this already and how is it working out with them. Then I think they'll be encouraged and get brave enough to start saying, okay, what can I do more? How can I make this a more meaningful, rather than just shoving facts down people's throats? Mm-hmm.
So the bottom line is that it really supports and helps teachers as well as students to become more involved in their communities and to feel more excited about education. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Because I think they want to feel useful. A lot of the kids that these teachers have have been in trouble, or they're considered at risk. They're considered throwaway kids. Don't even bother to help them. Go teach the kindergartners because these kids will be down the field. They're too old to help. That's wicked. That's a terrible way to feel about people.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to show them ways that they can be helpful now.
Yeah.
That are affordable, that would profit their communities. It's entrepreneurial, it's managerial, it's in so many ways, because education in the future is not going to be about skills. It's going to be about creative analysis, and it's going to be about social skills.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can get through on that, of course we have to do the minimum state standards. You always got to do that, and that's the first thing we do in the classroom. Show me your standards so we get those bases covered. But you can get that pretty much addressed right away, and then you can go on to the good stuff.
Nice. Well, folks, obviously, Marilla knows what she's talking about. She has her heart full and she's passionate about this topic. Get some new information. Go to newtakefilms.org and check out the free gift that Marilla has. Marilla, thank you so much for being here. We are so proud of you for everything you've done and accomplished in the boot camp. And welcome to the top 11. And we look forward to seeing your business rocket in the future.
Thank you.